Alrighty folks, what is up? One Big Bugger coming back at you with Mass Effect Let's Play Female Shepherd, mostly Paragon side. We just finished down with our first storyline mission, and we confronted and defeated Benezia, found out she's not as evil as she originally appeared. We also freed the Rachni, killed a bunch of the Rachni's unsavable children, and we came up back onto the ship, had our meeting, disconnected on the council, just to tick them off, because I think it's freaking hilarious. And now we're going to talk to the crew. This could very well end up being its own episode, just based on the fact that things like this can take a while. We shall see. Anything else? No, other than the fact that I'm like covered in my dog's hair. My little Chihuahua Koa little ritual when I bring him in for the night. I tend to pick him up, give him some attention, play around with him, and he gets fur all over me. And the one thing I've always wondered is how can a dog that has so little fur shed so damn much of it. I'm trying to find a good brush for him, so you know, I can brush out a lot of that shedding hair, but I haven't found one that's sufficient for a dog with such thin, fine hair as his. So it's becoming a pain.
Do you have some time to talk now, Commander?
Let's hear it, Lieutenant. I'm always open to my officers.
We've played it pretty close to the book so far, but we're a long way from backup. We've got some tough calls to make. I'm just saying, try to leave yourself a way out. I've seen what cutting corners can do, and I'd hate to have that happen to you, Shepard. Commander.
That's not the appropriate way to address your commanding officer, Lieutenant.
Sorry, ma'am. Maybe I got a bad signal. I mean, if you're a... Maybe there's someone else you'd rather confide in. Ma'am.
Someone? You're referring to our young Prothean expert.
I think she's older than both of us put together, but, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to follow this storyline here.
Interested in you, as more than a source of Prothean data. She's a very interesting lady. Not to my, tastes, but, I never claimed to be big on alien culture.
I don't think you should be prying into my affairs.
There's my answer, then. I'm sorry to have bothered you, Commander. I got some mixed signals.
I'm sorry,
With your
Kate.
permission, I should return to my duties.
Don't mean to be a jerk, but to keep my female shepherd storyline consistent in my Mass Effect 2 playthrough, which, in all due honesty, you guys probably won't see unless you ask for it, because I'm going to do my male renegade, which I think will be much more entertaining than being the good guy. For some reason, being the bad guy is. But still, I am going to play through with my female shepherd, Paragon, and do the whole line thing.
If you are here to talk about Benezia's death, you need not bother. She brought it upon herself.
Don't pretend it doesn't bother you. She was your mother.
She was. But she was not. I prefer to remember Benezia as she used to be, before she was corrupted by Sovereign's power.
The best of your mother lives on in you. Her determination, her intelligence, her strength.
That is kind of you to say. I appreciate your concern, but I am fine. Benezia chose her path, just as I have chosen mine.
I still say Ashley's more fun to pursue, but Ashley doesn't really connect with you in Mass Effect 2. Matter of fact, I'm not even sure she makes much of an appearance. But with the Shadow Broker, and seeing how most people chose Liara, with the Shadow Broker expansion in Mass Effect 2, they made the Mass Effect 2 thing where you could work with Liara and whatnot, so...
Maybe we could pick up where we left off. You were telling me about your interest in the Protheans.
Actually, I think I was talking about my interest in you, and making a fool of myself in the process. As I said, I am not used to dealing with people, especially humans. I did not really know much about your species when we first met, Shepard. I found it hard to take humanity seriously. Your kind always seemed so rushed and high-strung.
We don't have the luxury of time. An Asari can live for 1,000 years. We're lucky if we hit 150.
That is true. At first I thought that was a weakness of your species. After spending time with you and your crew, however, I think it may actually be an advantage.
Yeah, I may not talk too much during these parts just because there's not much for me to say.
You pursue your goals with an almost indomitable determination. It is an admirable trait, but also an intimidating one.
You're scared of us?
Unfortunately, the rest of the galaxy sees humanity as something of a bully. You run over anyone in your path to get what you want. It is up to people like you to change their minds, Shepard.
I'm doing the best I can, Liara.
There is a reason the Council chose you to become a Spectre. They saw something special in you. The best of what humanity has to offer. I looked into your history. I know what you did during the Blitz. It was a remarkable display of courage and heroism.
You didn't need to go behind my back. I would have told you whatever you wanted to know.
I apologize, Commander. After our last conversation, I was afraid I would say something stupid again.
So you do something
I wanted to know
stupid
more
instead.
about you, to understand what made you into the woman you are. There is something compelling about you, Shepard.
Are you sure you're interested in me? Or is it my visions of the Protheans?
I admit, your connection to the Protheans had something to do with my initial interest, but it has grown beyond that. You intrigue me, Shepard, but I was not sure if it was appropriate to act on my feelings. I thought there might already be a relationship between you and Lieutenant Alenko.
The Lieutenant and I are just friends. Nothing more.
My mistake, then. I am not as adept at understanding
Oh, there
human
goes my
relationships
dog.
as I thought. But what about us, Shepard? Is there a mutual attraction, or was I wrong about that too?
No, you were right. There is something between us.
I knew it, and I knew you felt it too. But does this not seem rather strange? Why do I feel so close to you? We have only known each other a short time. We are from two different species. We have almost nothing in common. This makes no sense.
These things never make sense. They just happen and we get swept up in the storm.
You make it sound so chaotic, so dangerous.
I'll keep you safe.
I am not looking for a protector. This is all a bit overwhelming. I am not used to this. You. I need some time.
Take all the time you need, Liara. I'll be here.
Thank you, Shepard. Let's just talk about something else for now.
Nah, there's nothing new to talk about.
Goodbye, Shepard.
See ya. I kind of do wish I could follow the Caden storyline here without messing up the Shadow Broker storyline. And I'll have to play through this game one more time to do that, in which case I'll do a speedy playthrough on this Shepard. Just because I want to see the effects, if there's any other ripples in Mass Effect 2, especially when you leave Ashley behind instead of Caden, who, for the third time in a row, is going to get sacrificed. Oh, why has my frame rate bombed? Was running at a nice clip, nice clean 60 frames a second. Now it's tanked to 30 all of a sudden. Hang on, folks. I'm going to see if I can fix this. Alright, let's try this. Yep, back. Something with fraps. I really hate fraps in many ways. It's unstable itself. It makes your game unstable. It can ruin your frame rate when you're recording, even if you're recording at a nice frame rate. The files it make are unbelievably huge. I mean, like 2 plus 3 gigabytes worth of information for a 3-minute clip, and then you got to stitch all 3-minute clips together. You can't just get one big nice clip and then do something with that instead. There has got to be something better out there, and if there's not, then somebody please make one. Seriously, I just cannot keep up with this. Even though I'm going to, because I'm recording. And I'm determined to make something out of YouTube, even if it's Just me having fun.
Why did you become a mercenary?
Lots of reasons.
Such as?
Such as, I needed to get out of our system. I needed to eat. I needed to survive.
Interesting. I never caught this before.
Why not stay and help your people?
I tried
He
to
does
help.
not have
That's why I
on
had
the
to
armor
leave.
I put on him in these scenes.
What happened?
I was betrayed. I was head of a small tribe. We were trying to restore order after the war, but the other tribes were against us. They followed Jared, one of the few warlords who survived the war with the Turians. But he was old, and so were his ideas. He wanted to continue the war. He wanted us to fight. Turians, Solarians, each other. It didn't matter who, as long as we were fighting.
What did you want?
I just wanted Jared to shut up, to stop his ranting. I wanted him to stop leading the tribes astray. But he couldn't understand how much things had changed. We didn't have the numbers to go to war. Even if we did, the genophage made sure we couldn't replenish our numbers fast enough. I told them all to forget about war. We needed to focus on breeding, at least for one generation. And for a while, we were getting through. Some of the tribes started coming around.
I take it the warlord didn't appreciate that.
No, he didn't. He arranged a crush with the tribes, a meeting on neutral ground. He wanted to talk. We met at the Hollows, near the graves of our ancestors. The skulls of our dead laid bare to remind us where we come from, and where we all go. It's as sacred as any Krogan place can be. Violence is forbidden.
Sounds like a trap to me. You must have suspected as much.
I did. But when your father invites you to a crush, well, there are some laws that even we hold sacred.
Jared was your father?
He was. Until that day. We talked, but we didn't get anywhere. When it was clear that I wouldn't join him, he gave the signal. His men leapt from the graves of our ancestors like Krogan undead. The few that were loyal to me died quickly. I escaped with my life, but not before I sank my dagger deep into my father's chest. That is why I left, and that's why I'll never go back.
So long, Rex.
Shepard.
Whew, interesting story.
Commander?
Do you have a few minutes to talk? One-on-one?
Sure. I was just watching some mail from home.
Oh, before I go, we saw Caden in a news vid about the Normandy. He's cute. Later, sis.
Let's pretend this never happened.
Are you interested in the Lieutenant, Chief?
Fraternization is against regulations, ma'am. Don't ask, don't tell. What's up? You didn't come by to eavesdrop on family mail.
Your family seems to be important to you.
Yeah, we've always been close. Me and my sisters especially. With Dad on duty so much, I had to help Mom raise them.
You're lucky to have a close family.
Oh, sorry, I forgot about your family situation.
Or lack thereof. Relax, Williams. I've dealt with it.
Asked me to clear a bunker of armed hostiles? No problem. Dealing with the foot in my mouth? Not so good with that. Things were tense between Sarah and me for a while. Then we bonded.
Sounds like your father wasn't around much. Wasn't your family stationed near him?
Dad always wanted to serve in space, but he wanted us to have real ground under our feet. He'd say, space is beautiful, but you can't raise a family there. I cannot rest from travel. I will drink life to the lees. All times I've enjoyed greatly, have suffered greatly, both with those that loved me and alone. For always roaming with a hungry heart, much have I seen and known, cities of men, And manners, climates, councils, governments.
I didn't know you liked classical literature.
Ulysses was my dad's favorite poem. Every time he shipped out, he recorded me reading it. He had a dozen versions when he retired.
Does he still like it?
I sure hope so. I read it to his grave every time I go home. Dad passed on a few years back. He's probably still watching, though.
I thought you said he was dead.
You know, from heaven, wherever that is. That's not a problem with you, is it? That I believe in God?
Your beliefs are your business. I'm your commanding officer, not your moral compass.
I appreciate that, Skipper. I should get back to my duties. Didn't mean to take up so much of your time.
What's your opinion of the last mission?
You mean the Rachni, right? They were dangerous, Skipper. They proved that 2,000 years ago. I think it was a mistake to let them go. But that wasn't my call to make. It was yours.
Damn straight.
You know, you really should talk to T'Soni about her mom. She has to be hurting.
Did that.
Just saying, Skipper.
Well, you're a little behind the times.
Dismissed, Chief.
Ma'am?
To somebody we definitely haven't talked to in a while, Garrus.
Commander, good to see you.
You've been with C-Sec a while. Have you seen much action?
Well, not as much as you, but yeah, I've seen some interesting things.
I bet you have. Anything in particular that stands out?
Sorry for the delay, folks.
I remember this
I was
geneticist I was sent to investigate.
scolding my dog a little
That
bit.
case
He's being a
was
bit of a
bit
nuisance.
Disturbing.
What happened? Why were you investigating him?
I was tasked with tracking black market trade on the Citadel. Most of it harmless, nothing I needed to pursue. But during the course of my investigation, I noticed an increase in the trade of body parts, organs mostly. We usually get a few of those, but not the numbers I was seeing. We weren't sure if there was a new black market lab or if some freak was harvesting organs from citizens.
You've seen this before on the Citadel?
Every so often, some lab sells unwanted parts through the black market, but they're not as bad as the psychos. I remember this one Elcor diplomat we caught in my first year on the job. He was hacking people up and selling their organs, had the station in a bit of a panic. But this case wasn't that clear-cut. Turns out there was more going on than we first realized.
So how did you figure out what was happening?
First, we got a hold of a sample and ran DNA tests. The weird thing was, the match led us to a Turian who was still alive and was very convinced he'd never lost his liver. After a bit of digging, I discovered this Turian worked briefly for Dr. Salion, the geneticist. So I went to his lab hoping to find evidence of cloned organ development, but there was nothing. No Salarian hearts, no Turian livers, not one Krogan testicle.
You're kidding, right? Why would anyone want Krogan testicles?
Some Krogan believe that testicle transplants can increase their virility, counteract the effects of the genophage. It doesn't work, but that doesn't stop them from buying. They'll pay up to 10,000 credits each. That's 40,000 for a full set.
Heyo!
Somebody's making a killing out there.
What'd you do about the geneticist?
I brought in some of his employees for interrogation, to see if I could get them to talk. While I was interviewing one of them, I came across something suspicious.
Yeah? Go on.
One of my detainees started bleeding profusely during the interview. We offered to patch him up, and he got frantic, freaked out. I ordered a full exam to find out what was going on. Our medics found incisions all over his body, some of them fresh. That was our big break. These people weren't just Dr. Salion's employees. They were test tubes. Walking, living test tubes.
He was growing parts inside these people?
Exactly. He cloned their organs right inside their own bodies. Then he harvested them and sold them off. Most of the victims were poor. He'd pay them each a small percentage of the sales, but only if the organs were good. Sometimes an organ wouldn't grow properly, so he'd just leave it in them. Most of them were a mess, but only on the inside, hidden so nobody could see it.
I hope he got what he deserved.
That's the worst part. We never caught him.
Why not? What the hell happened?
He ran, blew his lab, grabbed some of his employees, and headed for the nearest space dock. By the time I found out, his ship was already leaving. He threatened to kill his hostages if we tried to stop him.
But you went after him anyway, right?
I ordered Citadel Defense to shoot him down, but CSEC headquarters countermanded my order. They were worried about the hostages, worried about civilian casualties if the ship was destroyed so close to the Citadel. I told them those hostages were dead anyway. He just used them to make more organs, but they wouldn't listen.
It's not worth the risk. You pursue the vessel and disable it. That's the best choice.
They sent the military after him, but he got away just the same. Yes, they did. I went to Paragon and told him what I thought of him and his policies. He said if I didn't like it, I could quit. Well, I almost did. All they had to do was disable that ship, stop him from running. Maybe the hostages die, maybe they don't, but at least we stopped the bastard responsible for it all.
If you don't care about the fate of those hostages, then you're no better than he is. You're just a terrorist with a badge.
Yeah, maybe you're right. It doesn't make it any easier, but I see your point. Just wish I could have stopped him. That's all.
Do you have any idea what happened to Dr. Salian?
I sent out feelers from time to time, hoping to find something. I thought I'd found him a while back. He changed ships and changed his name to Dr. Hart, his idea of a joke, I guess. I told the military, but they weren't convinced it was him. I got the transponder frequency for his new ship, but I just can't get anyone to check it out.
I'll check out the coordinates when I get a chance.
I was hoping you'd say that. But Commander, take me with you when you go. If it's Salion, I want to be there when you find him.
Yep, that's a side mission. Now, hang on just a sec, folks. I haven't been dealing with my dog because I've been doing this recording and all that, but I really gotta deal with him. He turns into a bad boy, to say the least, if I don't deal with him and don't let him know that he's making me upset. Don't worry, I don't hurt him, I don't hit him, I just scold him and tell him to go lay down in his bed, and that's it. Okay? So, you know, you animal lovers out there don't have to worry. So hang on, folks, I will be right back while I go deal with this. Alright, folks, sorry for the interruption as my other dog barks. Situation dealt with. My little chihuahua is now in his bed, looking forlorn, going, why me?
Looking for supplies?
I did find out there is Quarian armor, but that it's rare. So we are just looking to see, hey, like Quarian armor, how about that? That has to be better than what she has. So we'll take that. And then we'll just check vendors as we go. Why? Why when I purchase something or leave a vendor does my frame rate tank? Come out of an elevator. I don't know. We'll see if it fixes itself. We're gonna come and talk to Tali.
Shepard, I'm glad you're here.
Good to see you smiling again, so to speak.
Did I do this already?
I'm sleeping much better now. I guess I'm getting used to how quiet your ship is. I still think a lot about my pilgrimage, though. I know Starin's our top priority, but with all the worlds we go to, I was hoping to find something to bring back to the flotilla.
We've still got a long way to go. You'll find something to take back.
Yes, but it cannot just be some derelict ship my people can use for salvage. It has to be more than that. There's a lot expected of me.
What's so special about you?
It's my father. He's the senior member of the Admiralty Board. He's one of only 5 people who can overrule the decisions of the Conclave for the good of the migrant fleet. My father is responsible for the lives of 17 million people. Our entire race is in his hands, and I'm his only child.
That must be tough on you.
My people place a high value on family and ancestry. There's an unspoken expectation that I'll live up to my father's example. Everyone's waiting for me to do something great on my pilgrimage, something that will forever change our lives for the better. If I don't, it's like I failed, and that reflects badly on both me and my father.
The work you're doing here is more important than anything any Quarian's ever done before.
Yes, I know. But you have to understand Quarian culture. We're a very insular society. The events beyond the flotilla don't much matter to the average citizen. Our greatest dream is that one day we'll return to our homeworld and drive out the Geth.
But even if we stop Saren, that's not going to happen. There's still millions of Geth behind the veil. Until they're gone, our exile will continue.
What would you need to bring back to make everyone happy?
Something that would help us better understand the Geth. They've changed significantly since the exile. They've continued to evolve. We've done our best to study them, but it's not
that was
easy.
my little ankle biter.
They're very reclusive. Until recently, they never
Apparently
went
this
beyond
is
the
an
borders
active
of the
dog
veil.
night.
And all the Geth we run into now are under Saren's control. We'd need to find Geth operating on their own, independently. But I don't want this to get in the way of our mission, Shepard. First, we stop Saren. Then I'll worry about my own problems.
I should go.
See you later.
Alrighty, I believe that covers the crew. I know it's somewhat slow and boring part, but yeah, I believe we're right up around 30 minutes. I knew this would take time, as I again have trouble getting to this. So let me get back up to the upper deck, and we'll get ready from there. And then beep, my mind just crashed, dude. No, but we'll cut it off here, and we'll continue on next time. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is One Big Bugger. I'm signing out with our female Paragon Shepherd, mostly Paragon. Anyways, I shall see you next time.